Imagine a scenario where there is a big pro Second Amendment march in America, people holding their rifles, protesting for their gun rights, thousands of Americans armed and protesting, and a brainwave manipulating device flies over them and sends signals that make the protesters lose it, just like in Operation Crimson Mist. What is Operation Crimson Mist? Well, let me read a small excerpt of what that is and what is taking place and what could be a possibility here. So Operation Crimson Mist was a terminal mind control experiment and the most obscene one ever mounted by the United States of America against a sovereign nation. Crimson Mist has been used on a smaller scale in Iraq. Now it's beyond doubt that they have this tech. C-130 Hercules transport planes, all crew members carried forged credentials showing them as atmospheric researchers employed by an authentic civilian American agency. But these were only for emergency identification. If one of the aircraft was forced to make an unscheduled landing on unfriendly territory for all practical security purposes, neither they nor their 3 large aircraft were even in Africa. Now, these planes were taken off and they had large microwave dishes mounted on the rear loading ramp of the aircrafts. It was this strange and esoteric piece of equipment alone that would directly contribute to the deaths of more than 1 million African civilians during the 100 days that followed. Though completely silent in operation, the single microwave dish had more killing potential than a whole squadron of AC-130 Spectre gunships armed with 50 Gatling guns. Though officially tagged an experiment, none of those present had any doubt that this was merely cosmetic cover for the gruesome operational work ahead. Each member had been carefully vetted and then vetted again by U.S. intelligence to ensure they had the right stuff and were philosophically committed to 2 objectives. First was the evolving need to control or eliminate political dissent by remote means in the run-up to the 21st century. And second was the need to stem or reverse massive population increases across the world, which threatened to overwhelm existing natural resources, especially water and food. Intrinsically, this required a willingness to commit mass murder, and everyone present had passed this critical test with flying colors. As the Hercules engines started with a roar, American agents in Kigali were working alongside local civil servants and members of the Rwandan Security Service, ramping up public suspicion about foul play in the presidential air crash. Urged on by corrupt officialdom, Hutu tribesmen started marching on Tutsi tribesmen and threw rocks at them, innocent enough at the outset, although with a few nasty machete cuts here and there. But then, the C-130 Hercules made a carefully calculated pass directly over the advancing Hutu, and they suddenly went berserk. Eyes glazed, the mood of the Hutu crowd went from simple anger to uncontrollable rage, and within minutes, hundreds of assorted Tutsi body parts were flying through the air. What the Hercules crew had just achieved has been an open secret since the late 50s, when researchers accidentally discovered that there is a precise control brainwave for literally everything we do and for everything we feel. The problem back then was that each of these control brainwaves, rage, fear, panic, lethargy, vomiting, and so on, had to be transmitted with an accuracy taken out to 3 decimal places, or they simply did not work at all. But as the years rolled by, and with the advent of transistors and microprocessors, the operational application of precise control brainwaves became practical reality. So that's something that could have taken place in the Rwanda genocide. And I'm thinking they're going to need something major to take place in the States, and I'm thinking maybe when people protest by the thousands, protest for the Second Amendment, they're out there with their guns, they're out there with their ARs, peacefully protesting, the same Hercules C-130 flies over them, shoots them with these devices that can control brainwaves, as you can see right here in this one graphic right here, required control brainwave or brainwave set. So they know how to get people to react in a violent fashion. Now, the CIA has been working on mind control devices for decades and even admitted it.